Alright guys, Fanatics have just been released, so I thought I'd make a video about them. This is going to be my first impressions on Fanatics. I haven't put any thought into how to make a Fanatic deck. Sorry, not Fanatics, Scavengers. Yeah, so we're doing Scavengers. I've put no thought into a Scavenger deck at all. I've simply taken my Fanatic deck and replaced the lasers with Scavengers. So this is literally just going to be like my initial reactions. I've never played the unit. I haven't prepared anything. This is just going to be straight up me playing these units for the first time and telling you what I think about them as I play. So I've just taken a regular deck and put the Scavengers in instead of lasers. I think that's probably the most basic place to start. I know there's certainly been some talk about no harvester decks that use Scavengers to make more money. I'll definitely be trying that after this. But for now, we're just going to take a really basic deck, put them in there, and see how they do. So obviously they are more expensive than laser troops at 30 instead of 20. But they, and then they have one less man, but obviously they can make some money back. So let's see how this goes. My opponent's opened with dogs into Pitbull. Normally I would respond with lasers or tank here. I've gone for the Scavengers to try them out, and because, you know, they're my replacement for lasers effectively. Alright, so already you can see the reduced DPS is a problem, but we have just made 10 Tiberium back, so that's quite nice. And when these wheels die, I think we're going to get another 10. I'm going to move in here and try and get 20. I didn't quite get there in time, but I'll get 10 off of this one dying. I've already made 30 back from these things. That seems pretty good. Effectively, I just made 20 out of that as well. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to boost my tank in. Get another 20. Boost my tank over here. Gonna need some wheels. Pull these back and replace the with wheels here. Alright, so I've lost all my Scavengers, but that's okay. We're kind of fighting for missile now instead. Try and get onto this pad. Looks like Hunter Killer's going to block me out, and that's going to be missile to him. Kind of like, I feel like the Scavengers were a problem here, because they simply didn't have the ability to push back like lasers would have. Their raw battlefield capability was obviously significantly less. So even though I made a little bit of money out of them, I did end up losing the missile, and I think if they'd been lasers, I would have been much better off. So maybe another way to look at this is you should make these guys in a deck that wants to make a tech unit. Like, you could play a tech splash deck with these guys to have additional income, because often tech splash decks don't have enough money to actually get their tech unit out. So you could play these guys as a little bit of extra income. I do seem to have a lot of money right now. That's probably because these Scavengers keep giving me cash. But they don't have the same impact on the battlefield as a laser troop would. So it's quite difficult to use them the way I would use a laser troop to push, or to hold a position against enemy vehicles. Like, I have all this money that I can't use, and that's mostly because these Scavengers keep giving me extra cash. So I'm thinking maybe a better way to do it would be to play a deck with a slightly more expensive unit in there. Okay, so it looks like we are going to take the second missile. And yeah, I just have infinite Tiberium right now. I've made a lot back from these Scavengers, but they don't actually fight that well. Like, they're obviously worse than lasers at actually fighting, so... Alright, we're going to back up and get a boost off these Fanatics. Get the double boost. Oh, I messed it up. It's annoying. Alright, never mind. We're making a lot of money off these guys. But they're just not laser troops, you know? Like, they're just weaker than laser troops. They don't have the same DPS. They can't kill a tank as quickly. I certainly think that you can't... I don't think they just act as laser troops. One of the main things that's great about laser troops is how cheap they are. So it's easy to make lots of laser troops when you need to save some cash. These guys are not that cheap, but they do make you back money. So it's like the heavier initial investment is a bit of an issue. Alright, so it looks like we are going to win this one. We just have infinite Tiberium. It feels like we just had infinite cash that whole game. I'm going to ask Hunter Killer how his cash flow was looking.
Objective complete.
Yeah, interesting. So we had a lot of money. We had like a lot of money because of that. Hunter Killer saying he had absolutely no cash. So I think that actually although we lost the first missile, I think we lost the first missile because we had scavengers instead of lasers. I think that after that, we just could make whatever we wanted. Because we just had infinite money and he had none. So I think the scavengers ended up winning us that game, probably. They simply didn't look that impressive at first, but just the extra cash they generated was kind of insane. Okay, so let's think about this. The best tip sync is probably Seth, because Kane is terrible. So we'll play Seth. And let's try and make a no harvester deck here. So we're going to play laser drones, because they're really cheap. They seem like they'd be decent for a no harv deck. I think we'll play wheels. We can have wheels with scavengers supporting them, and then you basically make back the cost of the wheel each time. And maybe I should play Fanatics, actually. I'm thinking the Fanatics synergize quite well because you want Fanatics to die anyway, and then you get the boost. Let's try a no-harv deck here and see how that goes. That was obviously a very good map for Scavengers as well, because everything happens in the same place. So you can have your Scavengers near the combat at all times. Let's try a deck that's a little bit less good for them. Sorry, a map that's a little bit less good for them. Something like Fertile Basin. It's like a pretty reasonable map, but it's not going to be that good for Scavengers. And we're going to try and do like a no-harv nod hit thing here. Okay, so here we go, facing Nick Cool. We're going to try a no harvester nod deck here, using these scavengers as our sort of secondary income rather than harvester. Like, obviously normal income is just how you generate Tiberium, and then most people, like most decks, play a harvester to make up for the extra Tiberium you need. We are going to try a no harvester deck with these scavengers to bring in the income. Okay, so I think I want to get the scavengers out as quickly as possible, because I need them for the income. They're quite expensive though. So let's get these scavengers out, and let's try and set up the scavengers next to some units and see if we can generate some extra income from them. Okay, so we got 10 out of them so far. It's kind of whatever. We're going to get another 10 when these wheels die. Alright, we got another 10. Alright, so they've made back their cost already. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice down here that I was getting wrecked. So I missed micro there. I should have been able to block that off. Oh wow, they killed the Fanatic. What? That's confusing. How did they kill the Fanatic? Alright, we'll have to maybe watch the replay, because that was surprising. I didn't expect them to be able to kill a Fanatic. They have good infantry damage. It actually looks like their infantry damage is not horrible. Okay, so we're making quite a lot of bank off of these scavengers, which is cool. See if we can kill this Giga. Wow, we killed the Giga as well? These things seem very good. Like, if that was a laser squad, it would have got wrecked there for sure. There's no way a laser squad would have survived that. I have so much money right now. This is kind of insane. Like, considering I'm a no harvester deck, obviously I don't have a lot of money for a regular deck, but actually looks like we're about to win. No, no, hang on. We're in trouble now. If we can block here, we win. Didn't get the block. Push up, maybe? Okay, we take it. Yeah. There were a couple of times in that game when they were very surprising in their effectiveness. I'm gonna watch back this replay quickly, because there were a couple of times there where I was surprised at how effective they were. So I think an error I made, I should be playing a slightly heavier infantry deck, I think. Because I want to open into the Scavengers. I don't want to open War Factory and then go into Scavengers. So I think Militants would make sense. So over here, I completely annihilated that Bike Squadron. And then here, this is a two-man Fnatic squad. I really thought that this was going to easily kill my Scavengers. It looks like they have pretty, like, that seems like better infantry damage than a laser squad has. They actually win that engagement. I end up making a lot of money off of these guys throughout the game. Like, if you watch this bit as well, I was very careful to keep this guy here. So I gained 10, I gained 10 there, I gained 10 here. This dies and I gain another 10. This goes in and this kills. Look at this. That's a max charge Giga. That was a max charge Giga against like a two-man Scavenger squad and they killed it. That's crazy. Like, a laser squad would have got absolutely annihilated there. Like, a three-man laser squad would have stood no chance. It would have got absolutely destroyed. So I think these things might be actually better than lasers. Like, I think even, like, you're always going to make back at least 10 Tiberium if you play them sensibly. So they just cost the same, effectively, as lasers. And then they just seem to be better in terms of stats. So these things... I think these things are going to make a big difference. I mean, I don't know if they make a big difference to the metagame. I think we could just see people replacing lasers with these guys. Which is not, obviously, like, a huge difference to the metagame. It's just everyone replaced with Scavengers. But it seems like they might be overpowered. That's my take on it so far, as they seem pretty strong. Obviously, this is my first time using them. It's a little early to actually state categorically they're overpowered, but they seem very good. They seem really, really good so far. Let's try... So I want a deck with more infantry, I think. I'm going to play Fanatics. And I want cheap units, and I don't think I want Tech Switch. I don't think I want to play Air at all. I think I just want to play 2 buildings. Maybe I want Marauders to go with these guys as like a heavier anti-vehicle. Although it seems like they were doing a good job anyway. Could try Chem Troopers. Chem Troopers are quite expensive. Copycat says to go Oksana for no half. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I think with Harvester you want the Tib Sync, but without Harvester you want the cheaper ability. Maybe we'll try... Let's try a artillery deck. Or like a Tech Splash deck. You know what? I'm actually going to go absolutely crazy. And I'm going to try... This is obviously semi-nonsense. But I'm going to put an Avatar in my deck. And I'm going to see if I can make it to Avatar. So I want to play... Probably... This looks fine. I should play Oksana for Avatar.
Stay classy, Commander.
And maybe need Stealth Tank. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to do 1 Harvester Avatar. This is obviously like a little bit crazy, but I want to see if it's possible to generate enough income by using these Scavengers that you can make it to an Avatar. Alright. Got the Mighty Alarak. So we're going to open Militants this time. Or possibly actually open Scavengers because we're playing against Nod. And he might go Wheels first. Let's open Scavengers and see how this goes. He has gone Wheels. I'm not sure how the interaction between... Normally you want to get 2 lasers and then fight 2 Wheels with them. I don't know how it's going to work with 2 Scavengers. I think I want to focus fire. Normally I would recommend not focus firing. But yeah, I get 20 Tiberium by focus firing. So I'm up 40 Tib now. I mean, these cost 60. And I got back 40 already. I'm effectively down 20 for both of these squads. That's crazy. Get the wheels out for these fanatics. And I'm actually gonna keep them engaged because I want to be here when the unit dies to get additional Tiberium. Wow, I got 20 for my wheel dying? That's crazy. Ah, didn't quite kill it in time. I should have maybe gone for the missile, but I was a little too focused on the scavenger stuff. Look how much money I had there as well. I had 200 Tiberium this early in the game. That's absolutely mental. I'm gonna get 10 for my own guy dying. And if I go here, I can get another 10 for this dying. And then another 10 for that dying. This is crazy. These things are nuts. Alright, I should make some more scavengers. That's kind of the idea of this. 20 Tiberium for that. I'm just gonna let these fanatics fight my scavengers. Look how much money I'm getting. This is insane. I'm pretty close to Avatar. I mean, I'm not going to make it because we're going to lose this missile and that'll be game. But if I played the game a little bit more carefully and actually gone for... If I played the game a little better, basically, I would have made it to Avatar. Like, I could have made it to Avatar if I just played the first missile better, which is insane. Like, I was just messing around on that first missile a little bit.
Our base has been destroyed.
Alright, let's try that again. That actually seems like it would have worked. This time I'm going to try playing better, basically. I could play a different tech unit. The problem is that all tech units on Nod are terrible, except for Avatar, so it's just not worth playing any of these. If these guys were in GDI, you could easily play a powerful GDI tech splash. I mean, obviously artillery is insane, but you can do artillery off of one harvester anyway. You don't need scavengers for that. I guess we could try that. Let's try artillery and stealth tank with scavengers and see how quickly we can get the artillery out.
Establishing battlefield control.
It's also important to note that Alarak is playing Fanatics, which are a really, really strong anti-infantry unit. If he was playing something like Militants, like most people do, this would be even worse for him. Because those Militants would give me insane amounts of income, and they wouldn't kill my scavengers that quickly. Like, if he wasn't playing Fanatic aggro, he would be getting destroyed, I think. Alright, so we're going to open with the Scavengers again. I actually don't think I need Militants. Given how the games have gone, I really basically have just never made Militants. Alright, so I definitely want to focus fire this one down to get the 20. And then I want to focus this one down to get 20 again. In fact, I might even be able to get 30 here. No, didn't manage it. Yeah, here come the Fanatics. I'm just going to fight them. Because I'm going to get money for the Scavengers dying anyway, so... Yeah, this is kind of insane. Alright, 1 minute 9 artillery, seems pretty good. Okay then. That's absurd. That's completely absurd how quickly I was able to get that out. I think Alarak might have conceded in disbelief at this point. Okay, well. Yeah, it looks like Alarak's conceded in disbelief. Oh, here comes some tanks. Those aren't going to be very good against my artillery. Gonna get some money out of them as well. I get money every time I kill one of his tanks. He's gonna get 100 Tiberium for killing this harvester. It feels like the old days. Alright, man, these things seem insane. These things seem absolutely insane. Alright, cool. I guess we'll try a different deck.
Enemy base destroyed. Establishing battlefield control.
Yeah, to be honest, Pro Donkey, I think the problem was Fanatics kill Scavengers way too quickly. Alright, so we're going to try and do Scavenger 1/2 Avatar. See if we can make enough money off of the Scavengers in a regular game to make Avatar. So every time we... Wow, these things, they actually annihilate Rhinos, which is insane. They should basically lose 1v1 to Rhino, but it looks like they absolutely crushed them. In fact, it looks like my opponent actually cannot play War Factory against them. They just beat all War Factory. This is completely outrageous. Here comes some snipers. We're actually going to make back most of the money that we lose on our Scavengers, because we're going to get it all back when they die. So we're at 1 minute 18 and we can almost afford an Avatar. And my opponent has only made Rhinos and Snipers against my Scavengers, and I have a 1 minute 30 Avatar for 1 Harvester. So these things seem insanely broken to me. The amount of money these things bring in is insane. Like, absolutely insane. I pretty much just made Scavengers and my opponent only made anti-infantry units and I won incredibly easily. The amount that these things crush a Rhino is completely insane. That was absurd. There's no way they should beat Rhino that badly. So I'm pretty sure these things are completely broken at this point. They both cost 30, but I get 10 back for killing his Rhino. That's absolutely crazy.